You are currently hiding $35,000 under a digital mattress, and it is quietly destroying your future wealth. By the end of this video, you're going to learn the exact recalculation that instantly frees up $14,000 to start working for you before you hit 30. But to understand why that $14,000 is trapped, we have to talk about what I call the cushion inflation trap. As millennials, we were raised during a time of massive financial instability. We watched the 2008 housing market collapse. We lived through a global pandemic, and we've seen endless waves of layoffs. Because of that, financial advice aimed at our generation became incredibly defensive. The standard rule snowballed into this idea that you need a massive 6-month cash stash before you even think about investing. So you work hard, you save aggressively, and you finally hit that $35,000 mark in your high-yield savings account. You feel safe. But here is the harsh reality. You have fallen for the cushion inflation trap. You have confused your comfort lifestyle with your true survival baseline. Let's break down the math. If you spend $5,500 every single month, you multiply that by 6, and you get a $33,000 emergency fund. Add in a little extra buffer, and you are sitting on 35 grand. Here is where the trap snaps shut. When a real emergency hits, like a job loss, you do not need to sustain your $5,500 lifestyle. You need to survive. True survival means stripping your budget down to the absolute studs: rent, basic groceries, utilities, and health insurance. You are canceling the streaming services, pausing the gym membership, eating rice and beans, and going into lockdown mode. For most millennials, that stripped-down, bare-bones survival budget is about $3,500 a month. Multiply that by 6 months, and your true survival fund requirement is $21,000. Do the math. $35,000 minus $21,000. Your cash stash is currently sitting $14,000 heavier than it needs to be. It is roughly 67% larger than your true survival demands. Why is this so dangerous? Because cash is not a wealth-building tool. Cash is a wealth-preserving tool. While that $14,000 sits in your account, inflation is actively melting its purchasing power. Every single year, you are losing money safely locked inside a bank. This is where the recalculation saves your future. If you leave the $21,000 alone as your untouchable survival fund, you can unlock that extra $14,000 and put it to work. Let's say you are 25 years old. You move that $14,000 into a broad market index fund. Historically, the stock market returns an average of about 8% per year after adjusting for inflation. By the time you hit 30, just 5 short years later, that trapped cash has compounded into roughly $20,500. You magically gained over $6,000. You did absolutely nothing for it except refuse to let your fear hold your money hostage. Now, let me be perfectly clear before the financial purists get upset. This strategy is not about abandoning your emergency fund. It is about right-sizing it. It requires brutal honesty. If you keep overfunding your cash cushion, you are stealing from your future self to subsidize an irrational fear today. You have to accept that an emergency fund is meant to be a shock absorber, not a secondary retirement account. Once you accept that your survival needs are strictly $3,500 a month, the mental block disappears. You recalculate your target, you deploy the excess, and you let compound interest do the heavy lifting. By the time you reach 30, you won't just have a massive cash stash. You will have real, compounding generational wealth. It is time to stop hoarding your survival cash and start building your future. If this was helpful, there's more on the channel.